Welcome to the Listen My Podcast. I am your host, Davidito, and we back like we never left. Since we back, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Today's guest is coming to us from Miami. Welcome to Miami. Alright, she's originally from that H-Town. Shout out to H-Town, specifically Mo City, where your boy is from. Amazing nugget to find as we talk through this episode, okay? Alright, her company, she goes by Art of a Woman. Phenomenal shoe artist. Started with painting and now is doing basically construction from scratch, right? So let's get into this interview. Welcome to the podcast.
Listen, you want custom shoes? That's gonna take some bucks. Whatever you have for the price, go ahead and raise them up. Better get your spot now for it's taken up. When it's all said and done, my guy, lace them up. Come on, lace them up.
Yeah, glad that you jumped on. So let's start here. Tell the audience a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you're from, some of that stuff.
I am Art of a Woman. I'm Abigail, but formerly known as Art of a Woman, formerly known. I am raised in Houston. Houston raised me. I'm currently living in Miami. So I am a designer. I'm a custom sneaker designer and a cordwainer. For those of you that don't know what a cordwainer is, that's somebody that makes shoes from original material, so from scratch. So that's what I do now, and I design streetwear also now.
Awesome. Okay, so you said that you're from Houston. What part? What part of Houston?
Southwest Houston, Northwest Houston, the west side of Houston.
Okay, where is the southwest side?
Mo City.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Real life?
Yes, real life. Yeah.
I'm from Mo City.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. From Mo City.
I went to Really Ridge High School.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I went to Jersey Village, and then we moved out to Mo City.
Wow, that's crazy. Definitely a small world. That is absolutely crazy. So what got you into art?
I've always been an artist, always. I was born that way. My mother was a creative. My brother's a creative. I was just born that way. As far as I can remember, I've been expressing myself through art, through whatever means we had. I didn't have access to art school or art crafts or papers or pencils and markers and all that. So I drew on whatever I could, which was primarily clothes or shoes or paper, myself, or my nails, anything that I had to express myself when I was younger is what I drew on and made art out of. Trash, anything.
Yeah. So I want to get into the move of Miami and what the reason for that was, but before jumping in there, starting with art, but trying to pursue that, as I'm assuming that is your career now.
It is. I'm a full-time artist.
Yeah. So what was that experience in trying to get from starting from nothing to now this is my career full time?
Well, I've been a full-time artist for 20 plus years, the majority of my life. I've been doing that professionally for over 2 decades, or almost 25 years now. I think a lot of people don't understand that you can be an artist and do something else, do something full-time until your art career takes off. Fortunately, I was so blessed to be able to do that full-time from the start. So I didn't really have a big, long transition, a long, runway to transition and take off to be an artist. I've been doing that full-time for 25 years.
Wow. So what would you say is the biggest thing that you've learned throughout your journey with all the years of experience?
Is to do what you know is right in everything you do. Don't take shortcuts. Don't shortcut people. Don't cheat people. Don't cheat your work. Don't cheat yourself. And to always trust your instinct. And I know that Jay-Z had said, and I have it written on my board, that there's a knowing in being an artist. He said there's a knowing. And so you have to trust yourself in all that you do. And that takes a certain amount of confidence And that takes a certain amount of time and wisdom. And so you have to trust yourself and trust the process along with that. So trust yourself.
So with that, being an artist, I feel like, especially in the time that I grew up, it was very difficult, right? Like
Hmm.
parents and people did not believe that you couldn't have a career
No.
in art. So speak to how you were able to one, keep your confidence in that space, but then be able to push through the noise to actually do what you want to do as a career.
Well, I'm West Indian, so my parents absolutely did not believe that art would have been would have been a career. They made me pick, you know. So I did go to college for something else. I went to college for the business of fashion, so which has helped me now, but
Wow.
and has been helpful all along. But yeah, I was made to choose. I had to choose, and I still hear today. I hear people say, "Oh, you're so crafty." I heard that this weekend. You know, like it's just a little thing I do. You know, but again, it comes back to the confidence. You have to know who you are. You have to know and get past that imposter syndrome that people suffer from. You just have to know. And I heard somebody, I want to say Steven Spielberg said, or is it Stephen King, say that if you sell a piece of art and the check doesn't bounce, then you're a professional artist. So if you can sell your art and the check doesn't bounce, then you know you've done it. You're a professional with that. So you just have to tune out the noise and know for yourself that what you are and what you provide to the world is unique to you. And even though other people are doing art and you're doing art, you're doing your art your way and in a way that nobody else can do that art. You just have to know. There's a knowing.
Yeah, yeah. So, just for a moment, if you don't mind, speak to the young kid, maybe high school, younger, maybe even starting in college, that wants to do art, but everyone else is telling them to do something else, right?
Hmm.
What is some piece of advice or encouragement that you would give them to help them try to push through that?
Well, I'd say make a plan A. And if plan A is your art, you stick with plan A. There's never a plan B. Never. Plan A doesn't work, you make another plan A. But plan A is your art, you stick with it and understand that that's who you are. An artist is not something you become. It's not something you can study to do. It's not. It's something you are. It's who you are. It's something you're born with. It's a gift. It's an absolute gift that not very many people can do. It's not something anybody can duplicate. It's an absolute gift. It's like being a singer. You're born with it or you're not born with it, or being a dancer. You're born to dance or you're not. Nobody could have taught Chris Brown how to dance. I don't care how, you know, and nobody could teach me art. There's just, I mean, I can learn techniques, but me as an artist, I am who I am. And so somebody starting out, you have to realize you are who you are and stick with that. And there's always going to be people that say, oh, you should do this, or you should do that, or change this kind of art, or you should do that. And you just have to kind of not internalize that and realize that everybody's going to have something to say about a career, your career. Um, but that's just what it is. It's just noise.
Yeah, I always say that people basically will just tell you don't do something or you can't do something
Hmm.
because they feel like they can't do it, so they can't
Hmm.
see you doing it, right?
Hmm.
So definitely, believing in yourself and know who you are is extremely powerful in that space.
And it's
What?
very hard when you're young. It's very hard. I am 51 years old. So I have the wisdom of a 51-year-old. If I was 20, I don't think I'd be this confident in my art, in myself. So I can say now to a 21-year-old, stay with it, stay the course, know who you are, stand on that.
Yeah,
You know, I think that would be my advice to a 20-year-old, somebody that's just starting out.
yeah, I love it. I love it. What made you pick shoes as your canvas? Like you could have did so many other things. Why shoes as your canvas?
Well, I'm a sneakerhead by
Okay,
nature.
okay.
My husband and I both are sneakerheads, and I just, you know, I love hip hop. I love the culture. Sneakers and hip hop go hand in hand. And initially, before I started making shoes, I painted on shoes, and it just wasn't enough. I mean, the art was great, but a sneaker was a canvas for me. But it just wasn't enough. I wanted to be able to create the canvas, not just paint on the canvas. And so I had gone back to school. I went to shoe surgeon's school for about a week and learned to make just one sneaker, just the one sneaker. And I went back and I just took to it like a fish out of water. And after that, that was 5.5 years ago. And after that, I went from painting to building. And building the sneakers gave me a broader canvas, and it gave me more materials with which to express what it was I wanted to express and tell the story I wanted to tell.
Yeah.
As opposed to painting where all you can do is add paint or add glitter or add, I don't know, different colors and that sort of thing, which is great. It ran its course with me, which is great. I stayed painting for a long time, years. And, but I just wanted something more. So I transitioned over to building. And, I think I'm pretty sure I'm the only African-American woman in the country that builds professionally.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Which makes me wonder, where did the name come from?
Art of a Woman.
Yes.
When I first started, I was painting. Like I said, I was painting on canvas. And I exclusively painted women. Because as far as I'm concerned, nothing is more beautiful than a woman. Like nothing you can tell me, nobody's ever disagreed with me. Nothing's more beautiful than a woman. So I painted exclusively women, real women, women with stretch marks, women with fat rolls, real ass women.
Yeah.
And and so that's the name, Art of a Woman. It's my art of me being a woman, more art of women, and Art of a Woman.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I love it. So you said sneakerhead. So I got to know, what's your favorite shoe? I got to
Um,
know, what's your favorite shoe?
I have my favorite shoe is the Humidity Dunks. They're gold Humidity Nike Dunk high tops, and they were an homage to Louis Armstrong. So they're all gold, like his instrument. Inside is lined with purple crushed velvet, like the inside of his case. There's a bow tie on the front of the shoe as homage to his bow tie. And the bottoms are clear, and inside the bottoms are music notes, like his sheet music. They're so fire. They're so fire. I DS'd them one time for a competition. One time. That's it. And I put them back up. That's my absolute favorite shoe.
So what is the first shoe that made you say, yeah, I'm going to get into this culture? And that kind of like sparked that fire for you, right? Mine is the Jordan 11 bread. Got stories for days for why, but I would love to hear what yours is.
Well, I tell you what, I grew up poor, and like poor, and so I couldn't afford the fancy sneakers. But what I could do is like baseball cards and sports stats. I could talk the talk. I could talk sneakers with you all day, and so it was probably '92 when I started getting into sneakers and being able to speak sneaker to people and other people. But it was a long time after that when I just absolutely fell in love with the fabrics of sneakers. It was probably the Aleli Mays, her first Jordan 1 that had the fur on it, when I just fell in love with the idea of adding different fabrics to sneakers. And I think that's probably the most influential shoe of my career, her first Jordan 1, the Aleli May Jordan 1s.
Yeah. So thinking about that, right? And you mentioned you're going to school for fashion stuff. So meaning you have an understanding of materials and that type of thing, right? I know a lot of people who paint and started painting. Prepping is a huge thing that they have to figure out, right, in order to make a quality shoe. what would you say so far in your journey now that you're actually building it from scratch has been the most difficult material or fabric that you've worked with so
Patent
far? And
leather.
how, patent leather, yeah.
Patent leather. It's completely unforgiving.
Yeah.
Completely unforgiving. There's no mistakes to be made. There's nothing. You cannot make a mistake with patent leather. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So,
That's the
and my
one thing that I
most,
stay away from.
yeah, yeah. And my most high profile shoe was completely patent leather. So
Mm,
yeah, that one was a rough one. But yeah, patent leather.
yeah.
That's an easy
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah. I I haven't gotten into sewing shoes yet. That's
Hmm.
what I want to do next. But I won't touch patent leather from the customizing, like painting side. Like I'm like no, because I know as soon as this crease is a wrap.
It's a wrap. Yeah.
Yeah, I know some people that have been able to do it and do it well, but it's one of those things. I'm like, nah, I don't know if I want to touch that.
It's unforgiving. It really is. But it's done. I did it well, I have to say. But it wasn't one and done like everything else. I had to practice a little bit and redo a few little things. But it's rough. It's
Yeah,
it's rough.
yeah. One of the things I always say is creating is problem solving, right? So,
Mhm.
I know you said patent leather was a difficult material to work to, but what was one of the biggest shoes that you had the most problems with, and how did you work through it, and how did you problem solve through it?
Um, I did well. I think the biggest problem I had was that patent leather shoe. That's the show I did for Kenny Smith for the NCAA finals. Um, it just, the patent leather around the toe never laid flat. Um, and so when we lasted around the toe, it's supposed to, it's supposed to
Yeah,
lay flat around the toe. And you can't last patent leather around the toe. It wrinkles, it creases. Because there's no flex in it, there's no give.
yeah,
And so I solved that by putting an additional piece of leather around the like a cat toe at the last minute. So that's how I solved it. And creating, to your point, is problem solving. Because everything you do is new. Everything I do is new. It's one of one. So everything I do is something I've never worked on before. So everything is problem solving. So yeah, that's how I solved that problem. Just added sort
yeah,
of like a cap to the toe.
yeah. So you mentioned also love of hip hop. So
Yeah.
I want to know who the first artist and what the first song was that got you into it. But what's on the playlist when you're working on a pair of customs, or you're designing something or creating something? This episode of the Lace My Podcast is brought to you by Davidito Designs. Davidito Designs is my website. It's where you can go and cop some merch. You can also put in a request for some custom shoes, and we can bring whatever idea that you may have in your mind to life on a pair of custom shoes. Back to the podcast.
Always Jay-Z.
Okay.
Always. Kendrick Lamar. Um, it's Lil Wayne. Um, some Pusha T maybe. I don't know. I don't know whatever else comes up in the rotation. But always Jay-Z. Always.
Yeah. What was the first song that got you into saying this is the thing, this is my genre, hip hop is my genre to listen to?
Way back. Don't laugh. This is a Lottie Dottie.
We like the party. Okay.
Yes. We
Yeah.
don't cause trouble. We don't
We don't
bother
bother
nobody.
nobody. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm with you. That's what's up. That's what's up. Man.
That's
I
way back.
yeah. Mine would have been Scarface. My mind's playing tricks on me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's the
Gotcha.
one that introduced me really into like hip hop. But before it was a lot of like R&B music
Hmm.
type stuff. But that's the one that really got me into saying, okay, yeah,
I go way back. I mean, I was alive when hip hop was born, so I go way back.
yeah, yeah, that's what's up. I like it. I like it a lot. So at this point, you said you've been in this for like 20, 25 years.
Hmm.
This may be a difficult question
Oh
for you.
boy.
Give me your top five shoes that you've created.
I did a shoe that's called a Blue Moon. It's a sort of a play on the Blue Moon beer,
Mm-hmm.
Blue Moon beer with blues and creams and oranges. The Kenny Smith shoe. Um, can I say I like them all? No, I did a shoe
You do
called
like them all. You do like them all, but I need the top five though.
I did a shoe called I call it the Secret Garden, which is it's a floral uh, green suede, goldenrod velour, goldenrod velvet, some plum suede. I did a shoe that I thought I was going to pitch to drink champs,
Mm,
and that's one of my favorites called Your Roses While You're Alive.
mm-hmm.
And that's here with me. So that's one of my favorites. How many is that now? I don't know.
I
But
think
those are
we're at
my
like
top
four,
ones.
right? I think we
Yeah.
need one more. I think we need
And I
one
have
more.
a pair of shoes. They're white. They're made of white velvet and pearlized leather with silver rhinestones, strings, rhinestones, and rock star chains, and they're awesome. Everybody loves them when I wear them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I'm really heavy on fabric, and I think mostly everybody just uses leather, but that's something I like to play around with the fabrics and different leathers. I used to play a lot with pythons and crocodile and stuff like that, but I like to use fabrics that other people don't use. That's
Yeah,
probably my niche.
yeah. I would imagine that would probably make it a little bit more difficult too.
Yeah.
Yeah, with those.
Well, yeah, because everything has to be backed so it
Yeah,
doesn't stretch and it
and some
doesn't
of it is
fray.
probably thinner. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. Exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Man. So you could be teaching us a whole class on this, is what you're telling me.
I could.
She's like,
That's
but I'm
that
not, but I
confidence
could.
again. Well,
Yeah.
I could,
Yeah.
and that was, at some point that was a plan. I don't want to leave this earth and take with me what I know. You know what I'm saying? I want to provide skills for my people to continue forward with.
Yeah.
That would make me very happy. That's the kind of legacy I want to leave behind when I leave this earth.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I totally agree. That's why I told my wife that. It's like I want to make sure when I leave my cup is empty.
yeah.
And I was able to share my gifts, my talents, the thoughts that I had, and be able to have them out in the world. So yeah, I could definitely relate to that for sure, for sure. Man. So in doing this for so long, give us a business tip or trick that we should be incorporating into our business plans as we're trying to move forward in this space.
I'm an artist first and a businesswoman second, and that's just because that's my skill set.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more of an artist than a business person. I have, well, I will tell you this, that you have to know your worth because your skill is your product. Um, your service is your product, and in knowing your worth, you know what to charge.
Mm-hmm.
And if you try to keeping your eye, if you keep looking at what somebody else is doing and how much they're charging, you're basing your worth on somebody else's art, and that's not fair to you. Look at your time, look at your materials. How much is your time worth? my time 25 years into it is worth more than somebody else's time 2 years into it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and so value yourself, value your time, and get paid before, at least have a down payment before. Nobody, you can't order something from Amazon without getting paid, without Amazon getting paid first. Don't incur debt without getting paid first, without at least a deposit. Do not incur debt on anyone's behalf. Don't go shopping for somebody and get this, that, and the other, and start working and start painting and buying shoes on somebody that somebody hasn't paid you anything. I've made that mistake once, won't happen again, very early on. Um, I would say be smart. Like I said, Amazon, you can't get nothing off of Amazon without paying first. So just be smart. And again, always do what you know is the right thing to do. If you mess up somebody's order, be honest with them, communicate with them. If you're not taking commissions or you're too far backed up, be honest with your customers. Always do what you know is the right thing to do, and you can never go wrong with that.
Yeah. That's powerful. Powerful. Thank you for sharing. For sure.
Yeah.
On the purchasing stuff for people who haven't made a decision, my lesson was I start doing the artwork for a shoe for a proof. They liked it, and then we didn't move forward on it. And I was like, oh, whoa, I waste way too much time on this. So
Way too
now
much.
I'm going to have to start charging, just for the art proofs. So,
Right. You charge for the art proofs because that's your time.
yeah, yeah,
I charge
exactly.
for proofs. I charge for mock-ups. I charge for idea boards. That's my
Yeah,
time.
yeah. So, talk to us a little bit about what your process is with coming up, how you design a shoe. Is it by hand? Are you doing it on the computer, some type of app? What does that look like for you?
Sometimes, well, I spend a lot of time thinking and get a little high and then just think, just just in my mind thinking, and then I come up with something, um, and then I'll put it down on. I'll use a Procreate and put together sort of an idea board with what I want it to feel like. It might just be colors. It might just be, pictures that I've seen on the internet. And I may present that to the client so that they just get a feel. I never ever present what I think is a final shoe to the client. I almost never present a shoe to the client, um, or a mock up of the shoe to the client, because it changes during the process. And I don't want anybody to say, oh, you said this part was going to be blue and this part was going to be red. So, because it may change depending on once the fabrics come in, the threads come in, or, leathers in. And it may not work when it comes in. So I just present sort of an idea. And then once everything's in, they say yes, and I order everything. And once everything's in, I can lay everything out on the table and then decide, does this visually look right? Is this visually weighted? Does this fabric work with this? Will this fabric fray on the end? Will this, I just go through a mental checklist of things. Um, do I have to finish this fabric on the end? Does this fabric need to be burnished? Does this, what needs to happen in order to make this shoe balance and look right? And then I can get started cutting. I make little notes, and then I can get started cutting. So I check twice and cut once.
Yeah, that's good. I've made that mistake before in my life too.
Yeah, I've done that
Yeah,
where I just get started. Like, I'm so excited, let me just get started, and I end up cutting, and then it's not working, and I end up wasting. And that's
yeah,
something I can't stand to do, is waste.
yeah.
Like,
Well,
I
especially
hate
with the
that.
materials are so expensive too.
Materials are expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people don't have a clear understanding of what that is and what that looks like.
Oh my
Uh,
God, yes.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. So, what drove the move? Why did you move from H Town to Miami?
Well, I moved from H Town to freaking Minnesota
Okay.
for 7 years for my husband's job. And
Okay.
then I couldn't take it anymore. So we moved to Miami. It was too much snow. Um, moved to Miami, and then we picked Miami because of the art scene. Miami has an art scene. Miami has a great sneaker community here. I really can't complain. They've got a great sneaker community. Completely embraced me right off the bat. Made some great friends here. So it was the right move for my career at the right time. So it was for my career the move, why we
Yeah.
moved to Miami.
Yeah. That makes sense. Because right now I'm in middle of nowhere, Kansas. So it's a task to try to get eyes and get people and that kind of thing. So
It is. Miami has sneaker competitions. We've got sneaker shootout Miami. There's, I mean, different organizations and different events going on around sneakers here in Miami. Just a lot of mix and mingling around sneakers
yeah,
and sneaker events here.
yeah. Who are some of the people that may be influences for you in the sneaker community when it comes to customs or designs?
I look at a gentleman. His name is Neil. He was one of my teachers out at Shoe Surgeon. He has an amazing craftsmanship, and I look at him. That's probably the only person that I really keep an eye on, other than because of the craftsmanship. But other than that, I don't watch other people. I keep my eye on my own lane
Yeah,
because, like, again, I do my art, they do their art, and that's it. But that's who I watch for craftsmanship.
that's what's up. That's what's up. I like it.
But as far as styling and what's new and what's been done and what's, who's using what, I don't watch it
Yeah,
like that.
I look more from a space of admiring, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then also for this too, like, oh, I really like this person's stuff. Let me reach out to them and see if they would jump on the podcast for me. But I feel like everybody who's a creative, your thought process is so different.
Mm-hmm.
While there may be some similarities, but we think of things different and put stuff together very, very differently. So, like you said earlier, staying true to who you are and yourself, I think is a huge part of that of just being a creative. Period. There are a lot of people that try to copycat, but yeah, when
Mm-hmm.
you're just creating and you're a creative person, yeah, it just kind of comes off the dome. You take some time or have that thought that's been bothering you for however long. You're
Oh,
like, I need to get this out. I need to get this
yeah,
out.
yeah. Like a gas station taco guy, it got to come out.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You gotta stay away from those. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're not good for you.
no.
For real, for real. So with that, how do you balance that? Right? How do you balance doing art for yourself versus having being backed up with commissions or trying to get product out for other people who place an order?
I don't really have time to do art for myself. Um, in that sense, everything I do is for myself. Um, the commissions that I do, people commission me for my art. Um, I don't take orders per se. Like, nobody comes to me and says, I need red here, blue here, put orange here, whatever. Like, that's not how I work. People come to me at this point in my career and say, I would like a piece of your art. And so it's 100% my art. And so the ideas that have been floating around in my head, I get to come out. That gets to come out then and tell a complete story. And I say what I say in the art, and that's it. So there's no division between art that I do for myself and the art that I do as commission pieces. If that makes
Yeah,
sense, it's
yeah,
all my art.
yeah, yeah. That's
I don't
awesome.
get to sit around and like knit or do anything like like I don't
Yeah,
get to
yeah,
sit around and do those
yeah.
things.
Well, not from that standpoint, but yeah, yeah, I hear you. Yeah, yeah. So, if you had the opportunity to create something, customs, whatever, full outfit for somebody, dead or alive, who would it be
Mhm.
and why? And what would you make?
Well, that's a hard one. You know what? I would like to make something for Prince. I'd like to make something for Prince because I think that's a groove I think I would really be able to fit into for him. Of course, he'd have the ass out and everything. Of course.
I was
But I
gonna
think
ask. I was gonna ask.
no need to
Yeah.
ask. I got you. I think Prince would be awesome to create for. I think I'd be able to just go nuts for him in all the different fabrics and in all the different, patterns and textures. And I think I would just be able to go nuts for him. Yeah,
She said, "With the ass out." There you
with the
go.
ass out. That's the most important part.
Yeah. Yeah, that's hilarious. I was gonna ask though. I was definitely gonna ask,
Yeah,
especially
yeah,
with picking Prince. Uh,
yeah.
so if there's somebody who's saying that they want to get into this space, this genre, what would be one tip you would have for a newcomer coming into this space?
Study your products. Learn your tools. Study your tools. I'm not going to say study other people. Study the use of your tools is just equally as important. For instance, cutting leather, you need to know what knives to use, what blades to use, what shears to use, how to use them, how to angle them, how much pressure to use. If you're painting, you need to know what brushes to use, what pressure to use. You need to know how your paints dry, the speeds they dry, all the add-ins, um, all the different mediums that you add to your paint. You need to know your tools. It's not enough just to be like, oh, I can paint. You can paint, sure, but paint with what? So or so with what? You have to know how your machines work. Um, yeah, you need to learn your tools, and that takes practice. And so, get you some fake leather and practice.
Yeah, yeah, it does take repetition.
Yeah,
That's what they told
it's
us
muscle
in
memory.
elementary.
Hmm.
Yeah,
It's muscle memory. I don't.
yeah,
I cut way better now than I did 5 years ago, and you will too. Everybody will too.
yeah. It's also with the confidence, right, of doing it over and over
Hmm.
again, and
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Which comes with anything. That's why they say you need your 10,000 hours or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Definitely, for sure, for sure. What's something that you're working on now that you're excited about?
I am working on streetwear right now. Um, I don't know I'm excited because I'm learning as I go along, which is ups and downs. But it helps a little that I have a fashion background. But it's exciting to be able to try to bring something new. I think um, into the market. Um, but I'm taking my time. I thought I'd launch this fall, and it may or may not still happen, but probably not. Um, but it's exciting for me. It's something new, and it's a new medium for me. So yeah, coming soon.
Yeah.
That
What is a?
brand is mm,
Go ahead. Sorry.
no, that brand is called Said, and I named it Said because at this point in my career, I've said so much. I've said all I had to say. I've said what I said, and my art speaks for itself. I think at this point. So we named the clothing line Said.
So, is there a certain material, or I should say, item or garment that you're focusing on, or we talking about like full outfits? We talking about dresses? We talking about jackets. What are we talking about? Purses, handbags. What is that?
Streetwear right now. So hoodies, joggers, skirts, t-shirts, just streetwear
Are
in
you
general
looking
to
more
start.
cut sew?
Cut and sew. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Cut and
All
sew.
right. Nice.
But I have no idea where this will lead, so don't hold me to it.
Yeah.
So
Well, hopefully you'll post something, and
yeah.
I'll be able to see it when we get to that point. So
Yeah, I will. I promise.
yeah. So I do have to ask because I see all the pop toys behind you. I would assume that you're collecting.
Yes. Yes.
So what's the draw for you? I have a bunch of them myself, but what's the draw for you in that space?
I collect the African American Pop-Tarts, Funko Pops. You got me saying Pop-Tarts. I
Me
collect
too.
only the black Funko Pops. But I do have one white one, so I don't want to hear it from anybody. So it's a collection of the black Funko Pops.
I can't say nothing. That's mine. Mine are the same ones. So I ain't gonna be talking about you at all.
Yeah. That's just the collection I chose. I mean, some people collect all Spider-Man, some people collect all Marvel or DC or whatever, but I just collect the black ones.
Yep.
Or brown. I have a brown one.
Yep. Me too. So, earlier you mentioned you were a sneakerhead, and you said your husband was too. Who has a bigger collection between the two?
I'm gonna say him. I don't know. I'm thinking about our closet, and it might be me, but I'm gonna say him. Just to be on the safe side.
Yeah. So like it's a lot of shoes in there.
There's a lot of shoes everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably him.
Ballpark number of how many?
Between the two of us, a couple hundred.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I won't say nothing.
That's about an average sneakerhead.
Yeah. Well, for me, I know I got over 100 pair of shoes. So yeah. Yep. I won't say nothing in that space either. Yep. So before we get out of here, where can the people find you at? Where can they follow you at? If they wanted to get some art from you, where do we go and do that?
Instagram is the best. I'm Instagram at artofawoman1 on Instagram. That's the best place to find me. I answer all my DMs. And soon we'll be selling the set on Whatnot at Art of a Woman on Whatnot. Soon.
That's what's up. Thank you for being on. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I had a great time. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for watching another episode of the Lace 'Em Up podcast. I greatly appreciate you being here. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. As I always say, fear is fake. Creating is problem solving. Peace. If you like this episode and you want to see more episodes like it, don't forget to check them out here. And don't forget to subscribe.
Listen, it takes wisdom to grab these sneakers and spin them. Cut a couple of linen and match them up with the denim called Davidito. He'll cook it up like the kilo and have your Air Ones appropriate with the stilo. He's no Lilo, but he's mean with the stitch.